I'm a very visual person, so to me, songwriting and music go hand in hand with, like, you know, for example, the album packaging or the music videos. Oftentimes, I mean, I'm thinking of the record album, like the cover of the record before I'm even writing the songs of the album. Just because I need to put it in some sort of like visual context, which is why I think music videos are so important, because it helps kind of further explore and explain, or at least try to, your overall concept for the music. I mean, at least the way I think of it, I think of the song part as like a percentage of the overall vision of what I'm trying to do. No, not at all. I mean, I didn't really think too hard about it. I've always made music, but I've always had like friends that were in bands and in the industry, and, you know, oftentimes flailing and trying to figure out what to do. And I had a, you know, pretty cool job designing skateboards and t-shirts, so I was not really concerned with trying to get out of my job, you know, like, because I had a fun job. But once music started taking off and I started playing shows, I kind of realized that maybe it is something that I could do. You know, I could always turn back to, you know, drawing skateboard graphics if I wanted to. At the time, no one really knew I made music. You know, I wasn't telling people I was in a band. I was just kind of doing it to like help me from going crazy at work. You know, it's just something else to do. Like, some people paint, some people read. I had met Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys, like in a bar in Paris, and we just kind of, I guess, hit it off and started talking about music. Started discussing like the possibility of recording in a studio in Nashville for the next album. You know, I knew right then and there, like, that experience is going to be, you know, wildly different than the first time anyways, because just by the sheer fact you have to like block out space and time, you got to pay for it, like, you got to, you know, rent out a studio. So right then and there you're kind of like thinking about like, okay, now I have to do something here. Like, I can't just waste people's time and money and just, you know, mess around in the studio for fun. I gotta like record something. So that kind of pressure inherently made me prepare something for the next album. But then as I got into it, I realized that like I was gonna lose a lot of the magic of how I like to record and what happens like in the studio when you're being sort of spontaneous. So I did these like really loose kind of demo recordings, and had kind of talked with Dan about him producing the record as well as just, you know, letting me use the studio and his engineer and blah, blah, blah. It kind of turned into a bigger thing of just him working on the record. I think like trusting your gut is something that, I mean, I tend to do that, but it's nice to see another musician working that way too and not overthinking it. Because I mean, as a musician and producer myself, I've worked with like many different types of musicians, and so to work with him and to realize like, oh wow, you can still make like big records and stuff, like kind of acting as if you are just recording in your bedroom or whatever. You know, that was really important. I mean, we were just blazing through tracks like all day long. I'd show the guys a song and we'd sort of just hash it out and then hit record, and then all of a sudden we're done. It was a quick process. I mean, I think it was 11 days to track the record, so it's like, that's how albums are made.